Hello and welcome to Apple Illustrations. Hello, I'm Nate, and let's draw Deadpool. I think probably the hit movie of the last year. Um, Came out of the blue, everybody loved it. I must say that I got to it a little bit later than everybody else, and this picture's probably a year overdue as well. So, so with this being such a hit and being the R rating that it was, you just wonder why they don't make more movies R rated. The thing that I find about comic book movies, especially, if you want them to be like comics, you'll just read the comic. But if you want your movies to be different, you want them to be more realistic and more funny, more about like how adults actually interact with each other and stuff. So that's why I think it worked. I think it worked one because it was really bloody funny, and two they didn't hold back on anything either. So it wasn't like a kiddies kiddies movie. It was a movie for adults, and everybody really loved it. So it's one of my probably favourite comic book movies. There's obviously a lot that are out there at the moment, but this one's a standout because it was different from the rest. So you got to hand it to Ryan Reynolds after the flop of his first effort with Deadpool with Wolverine's origin. This has just come out amazing, amazing movie. And if you haven't seen it already, get out there and watch it. Make sure you're old enough though, because there's a lot of swearing, a lot of crude humour in it as well. So, what's been happening? Um, well, there's been a bit of debate lately on a few people that I follow on YouTube in the artist community, the Draw with Jazza and Bailey J, about artist block. Now, in her video, Bailey's video, she goes on about saying that there is no such thing as artist block. If you need to draw, you just draw. And I completely agree with that. Like, if you have to draw, there's always something you can draw. But the biggest thing at the moment is that a lot of people don't agree with it because it just depends on what sort of artist you are. Like, if your job as an artist is to come up with one piece a year, and that one piece is going to support you all year, it may take you a couple of months to come up with the idea. But if your job is an art channel, like a lot of people have, and you have to produce content for that art channel, there are always things that you can do. Like, every time I get stuck down, I get my wife to draw me a random shape, and I draw it. I turn it into something, or I ask my brothers what I should draw. So, as much as I agree with everything she said, I think it just depends on what sort of artist you are, and sometimes you do get artist blocks, but there's always ways around it. But just everyone's different. But I think how she was saying it from her point of view, as in like producing content for a channel like twice, maybe three times a week. And you just have to do it because you've got fans out there that you want to keep the content flowing nicely, and you got no choice. So sometimes you might not want to draw, but you just get out there and draw. Sometimes you're feeling sick, but you need to do it, so you do it. But overall, I like what she said. She said what it's like for her, and there's going to be people that disagree with her. But for me, I fully support her what she said, and I back up everything Jazza said in one of his vlogs in reply to that as well. All right, but let's talk about me for a second. So my main job at the moment is a stay-at-home dad. I look after my 3-year-old daughter. She's a handful, like all 3-year-old daughters. So I don't have the free time to get out there and draw all the time. But I do get to spend a lot of time with my daughter, so that's a win for me. And my side job at the moment, believe it or not, is actually I'm a graphic designer trying to start up my freelance business. So you add those two things, and then I'm trying to produce artwork for my channel. There's a lot of balls juggling there at certain times. And thankfully, I've got a very supportive wife who supports me in everything I do. So she's been amazing, and my daughter loves to see me draw, so that's always fun. So when it comes down to it, if you want to draw, you'll find the time. If you want to write a book, you'll find the time. If you love something enough, you'll find the time. And something's always got to give. At the moment, I've got a good balance between trying to get this done, family life, looking after my daughter, but it's all just about getting the balance right and finding time. If you don't like doing something, you're just not going to find the time for it. So that's my thought on this topic at the moment. So this pitch is actually just about wrapping up too. So hope you enjoyed seeing the process. I didn't talk about it because I've talked about it in my previous videos. You don't need to hear it again, as it doesn't really change. And if it does change, I'll mention it in that video. But this one was just a lot of fun. I actually based this picture on a picture I found on Google search. He obviously did not look like this. It was Ryan Reynolds from the movie, but I just made him look more squashed and cartoony and silly. And I think it's actually turned out to be one of my favourite pieces I've done. So I think it actually goes really well with the Batman 66 piece I did a couple of weeks ago. So I think it's going well. I was trying to work out how to do the shadow, but I couldn't work it out. And then I did a proper shadow, and I just decided that looked really cool on the white background. So I left it like that, and then I went through and added a bit of grime on it and finished it all up. And this is Let's Draw Deadpool. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I haven't ranted too long, and I hope that you will be able to watch, share, subscribe, and watch again. Until next time, this is Nate.